Oh, hi, Fun Gaming. Welcome to the stream. Better get started on. Oh, wrong tab. I can't figure out how to lock it on this tab for some reason, so gotta make sure not to show other tabs, I guess. There's a bunch of elements here. Not sure if there's any one of them you want to start with. It's kind of in a random order, not sure why. I didn't really set this up. Well, it sure is randomized for sure. Didn't mean to say sure twice. I'm just gonna go in order, because why not? Starting with the block. I guess it's not brick block. I think the official name for it is block. Hope you're having a good day so far, by the way, Fun Gaming. I'm doing well. You're in the States, right, Fun Gaming? Is it around 2 p.m. for you right now? If so. Welcome back, Super Gamer. Good to see you again. I'm assuming some, well, people you guys might know are still at school around this time. I don't want to start stream too late because that'll impact my sleep schedule. I'm not gonna talk about that. 3 p.m. Okay. I forgot about the slight changes depending on which part of the US you are at. Not sure if I want to start with the block. It's kind of confusing. So, wow. Okay, coins. Coins definitely are going to S tier. There's a bunch of things you could do with them. Turn them into blocks with a P-switch, which some players wouldn't do for a platforming level. Block is D tier. Oh. Well, in my opinion, blocks, they can have stuff inside. I don't want to say stuff, but pretty much every object inside. You could also trigger a P-switch and turn them into coins. You can also ground pound them and break it. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a ground pound. I would put it in maybe A tier. Yeah, A. I don't want to make everything as... It's gonna be a very special tier up here. Bridges are B to A tier. What makes you think so? They are cool as decorative elements. Not sure if they are useful for platforming because you would have to, well, stand on them, which will stop your jumping. They are good, I guess. I'll put it in B tier for now. As for question mark blocks, they are pretty much the same as the brick blocks, but there are some limitations to it, such as not being able to break them easily. So I'm gonna put that in B. Some cool tech. They are alternatives for semi-solids for sure, and they can be useful for decoration. They do work well for... Oh, sorry, just a moment. How should I do this? I need to put music that wouldn't cut short. Not gonna try to waste too much time on this. Okay. Back here again. Ice blocks. We're gonna just continue on with the blocks. Ice blocks, they are good for sliding. And decoration along with a placeholder for hard blocks. Aside from that, there's not much use to them. Maybe same for this one. These two pretty much are the same, I would say. Actually, I think I should put that in B tier. The things that go in D, I would say, are the most useless ones, like the Angry Sun. Yeah, Angry Sun won't be very good for a platforming level. Let me know if the music gets too distracting. I haven't thought it out too well. One-up mushroom. That's a C for me. They could be good indicators. Aside from that, it's not much. The Cape Feather. Cape Feather. That's also a C. And I think that's a good place for it. Now for the Super Ball. That's a D for me. The Super Ball is very hard to use, and what else? I lost my train of thought for a second. Big Mushroom is good. C is just good to me. I'm gonna think about the 3D world elements later. At least that's what I'm thinking so far. Pink Coin. Also a C. they can be good for, yeah, actually a B. They are good for making certain movements required, going to certain areas required. They can also be good indicators, and they turn into a key, which is useful. But a key itself, well, not much use to that. It's kind of not fair for the pinpoint and the key to be in different tiers. That seems kind of strange. Flagpole A? Yeah, that I agree. You can't not have this in a long level. Well, they are good for checkpoints for sure. But honestly, maybe B is better. It's not too useful. You don't have to put them in a level, and you don't want to put a power up on them either if they are in a platforming level. Welcome to the stream, Aiming to Game. Good to see you. Keep in mind I'm ranking these by usefulness and platforming levels, which is what it says in the stream title. So checkpoint flags can be good for maybe a traditional level, not as much for a platforming. I might want to demote the bridge to C. And semi-solids will go to A. Very useful decoration element. Hi Claire, welcome to the stream. I assume that's what I should call you. Hope you're having a good day so far. I don't even know what music is playing in the background at this point. Ground, that's A. You don't need a lot of ground in platforming levels. That's one thing I realized. Let me put that in B. And then slopes. That's worse. Not that relevant. Well, there are some uses to it, so I'll put it in C. Like if you ground pound it, you automatically slide. That can be good for platforming. Bought the first chapter of Corpse Party, Chapter 1 manga. Sounds nice. Never heard of Corpse Party before. You're saying it's a manga, right? Or am I reading it wrong? I'm gonna make a community post. Okay, I'll make sure to check it out. The frog suit is... That's unfortunately D. The physics on it is not that important. Barely needed for platforming. This one is a C, but the fire flower, I think that'll be good in B tier. Same for mushroom. Those two tend to get tend to be very useful when it comes to platforming. Mushroom especially, it allows you to ground pound through blocks in an SMBU theme. Also allows you to damage boost if that's something level makers are looking to do. Love gore stuff. Okay. What do you call a chef who cooks on his roof? Not sure. Might need a quick answer to that. Cheap is a C tier enemy. Cheaps are good if you want to jump off of an enemy that is pretty much not placed anywhere. It just hops around at the bottom of the screen. That's what makes it different from the other enemies, if that makes sense. So like you don't have to put ground underneath it for it to move around without falling in a pit. An idiot. True. Should have known. $10 is... Coins are in S tier. I put that there. And but 10 baggers or any Bitcoin in general, they belong in C, I would say. A lot of things in C tier right now. I'm gonna try to choose one that'll be in a higher tier, like a spike trap. Spike trap, I'll put that in A tier. Good for hurting. That sounds strange. And also, oh, and by the way, can you guys hear the music in the background? I just want to make sure real quick. I don't know what's playing, aside from it being something from SMM2. Spike traps are good if you don't want damaging elements, which would pretty much be enemies, to get defeated by POW blocks. These don't disappear when a POW trigger happens. Arrows are A tier. I think that's more fitting than B. I think that's fair. Okay, thank you, Fun Gaming. Just wanted to check. Pipes, maybe that's a B. They can have... My throat's getting slightly dry already. They can have enemies inside, along with few other things. Aside from that, they're not good terrain compared to using ground, which is not as useful as using a pipe, I believe. Moving on to the next one, bloopers. Bloopers are okay, also a C. blooper nannies. Not sure what people usually call them. I don't really hear the term or name blooper nanny a lot. They're good for jumping multiple times in a row. Even with that, I would put it in C, not B. Maybe B's a little too forgiving. Yeah, pipe is very good for an art style. If you want to make a cave platforming level, maybe you could put a bunch of pipes and make it seem like a piranha plant territory kind of thing. Where's Buzzy Beetle? Buzzy Beetle is definitely S tier. That's because its shell is very important. And same goes for spike balls. That was a great addition to this game, the spike balls. Those two are too useful, in my opinion. I'm not sure how often the Buzzy Beetle shell and the spike ball get used in other kinds of levels, especially traditional style levels. Maybe not as much, but for platforming, they're definitely S tier in my opinion. POW blocks, I will put that in A tier. They're good for clearing paths, dropping shells from the ceiling, dropping coins onto note blocks. Common setup I use. Maybe not too common. And also for grabbable ground, as I like to call it. Superstar is S rank. Where's Superstar? Why do I not see it? Somehow I'm struggling to find the Superstar. Is it not here? I should have noticed that the items are all categorized. They're not in random order. Still, I don't think the Superstar is here for some reason. That's strange. Well, if I were to put the Superstar somewhere, honestly, B tier, if not C. The reason for that is because if you're invincible, all the platforming setups, a lot of the setups don't work, and you're going almost too fast. And being invincible takes out a lot of skill when it comes to platforming. So honestly, either a B or a C for me. Not there for some reason, yeah. The note block is A/B tier. I agree. Just which one? I think A is more fitting. A lot of enemies can trigger it, unlike the question mark block. You just have to step on it, and then you can bounce off of it too. It's a pretty useful contraption, I'd say. a lot of reasons that I don't have in mind at the moment. As for the mushroom platform, maybe that's a D tier. It's not very decorative, plus it's another form of ground which you don't need much in platforming. Should I put in C? Maybe not. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Blover. Good to see you here. Use it most of the time. I do use it, I think, in pretty much all my platforming levels. Speaking of which, trampolines. Maybe that's a S tier item. They've been pretty useful, especially the sideways ones. I think those are more useful than this normal trampolines. Oh, doesn't need ground? That's true. Unlike the no blocks, this is better, mainly because it's less easier to interact with, if that makes sense. When you make the note blocks longer, I guess so. Moving on to, let me put the clown car first, which is, I think that's a D tier item. Again, too janky because it can go pretty much anywhere. That is, if something is inside it. With nothing inside, it's almost nothing. Lots of other setups you could use instead of putting an enemy in a clown car. Propeller mushroom, that's a C. Maybe a B? No. This one... Let me put that in D. I'm not trying to hate on it too much, but unfortunately not very easy to use. Hi Happy Face, welcome to the stream. The traditional trampoline. One setup that works well with the trampoline is putting a Buzzy Beetle shell underneath it, and when you jump off of it, the shell gets kicked instead of grabbed. I don't know if that's explained well. Anyway, there are times when the normal one gets useful. Yeah, rip. SMM2 mushroom, that's actually pretty good. It's almost like made for platforming. I recently made a speedrun level with it, and it's okay, but it's much more useful for platforming. I think same goes for this one. Although, I think you guys could agree that a lot of Link platforming levels tend to be on the difficult side, if they are very well-made ones. Shoe Goomba, the shoes are pretty useful, though not too useful, I'd say. Let me put this one in S tier. I think same goes for the Switch. Can't forget those two. Digging levels with which one? The Shugoomba, the Master Sword, or what else was I thinking? Sword is A tier. What kind of reasons do you have for it to be deserving for A tier? There's gotta be a lot of good reasons for it to be here. Yeah, on-off blocks, they're definitely important. Another S tier item is the lift. That includes flimsy lifts, by the way. Almost every other platforming level you see has a flimsy lift or two. You can't not have one almost. The normal lifts, they're kind of garbage, but flimsy lifts are very useful. Oh, SMM2 mushroom. Yeah, that's bad. But that also could be a good thing if you have... Hard to explain, but if you put a bunch of... Not bunch, one or two cloud blocks that can force players to take a few seconds away from going left or right too much. Hi Eisen Movies, welcome to the stream. I meant to call you Eisen. Who's the bop? What do you mean bop? Are you talking about Spike? Got to go. Okay, Blover. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Munchers. I think Munchers also go in S tier. Maybe that's agreeable. Oh, boo. A typo. My bad. Boo, hardly useful. That's true. D tier. Pretty much the good thing, one good thing with boos is that objects and enemies can go through it no problem. But that doesn't really matter in platforming levels, I believe. Invisible blocks. I do see them used sometimes, but it's almost never. That's also a D tier. Man, there's a bunch more I'm gonna have to get through, so I'm gonna go through this quick. Not to say that it's daunting. I am enjoying this, of course. Donut blocks. That's a B tier item. Several things you can do with them. P-balloon. Not very good. But bombs, that's A tier for me. Very useful explosions. Especially for quick shell setups. Hammer Bros are bad. very bad. I realized the Koopalings are here. Iggy is bad. Bowser Jr. is okay. Bowser is not useful. Let me just put the car in there too. Not trying to rank 3D world items just yet, but that's an obvious one. Roy, also bad. Morton. There's gotta be one Koopaling that'll be in C tier. Not quite sure which one. Oh, Lemmy's, infamous balls. They're very useful. Not very, sometimes. That's why I put him in C tier. Hydra Mice, welcome to the stream. Magic Koopa. I'm not sure about Magic Koopa. Maybe that's a D tier or a C. I think D is better. The magic is annoying at times. I've never seen them used in a platforming level, at least in a good way. Lakitu, including its cloud, that's a C tier, I believe. Jumping off of Lakitu, actually I meant Lakitu himself, not useful, but maybe with other enemies it'll work fine, like riding a POW block or putting a trampoline in a cloud so that you can jump on it while it moves around. That's going to be a very complicated setup, but I'd say it's decent. Yeah, I thought it might be fun to try something else or something new for a stream. Oh, thinking about streaming today? That's nice. Tomorrow my schedule is not going to be good for watching streams, so today is going to be better. Although, I'm already low on time. Meowser, D tier. Door is okay. C tier. Good for resetting rooms. What's another obvious one I could put? Boom Boom. Boom Boom's also okay. Okay. Sorry, didn't mean to skip your message, Eisen. The Goomba head is gotta be in B tier. Not in 2D, but it's useful to not get hurt. Yeah, maybe B tier. A lot better than some of the C tier items, maybe. Yeah, B's pretty good for that. Not sure why the two different mushroom trampolines are here, even if the two different lifts are not separated. Tracks, that's an S tier. P blocks, those are A tier. Not the best, but still pretty good. Actually, they only turn into blocks when you trigger P switch, so it's not that useful, but it could be good for indicators and decorations. If they're useful for decorations, I'm gonna put them in higher ranks too, like the semi-solid and A tier. Now for the twister. Twister is okay. They can blow things up. not as in explosion, but is it called funneling them up? That sounds strange. Pretty sure that's not how it's worded. Seesaws are difficult to use, but they're also decent. Maybe B tier is more fitting for it. I'm not sure if there's a reason for that. Bumpers also okay. Well, let me put that in B tier. Enemies can't interact with them. Well, actually, never mind. Grinders, I'm gonna put that in B tier instead. Don't wanna get into the reasons too much, but I would say the grinder is simply better than the bumper. They're pretty similar elements though. Skewers are hardly usable. One-way walls, that's A tier, I believe. Swinging claws also. Should I put in A? Maybe B is better for it. Yeah, B. So far, A tier's not having a lot of elements. That's odd. Icicles, I think that's a B tier item. It can trigger items, and it doesn't interact with enemies. Reasons like that. Swamps. Okay, I got distracted for a second. Swamps. I think swamps should be in A tier. They can go sideways, they can go down, and there's a lot of good uses for those two types of thwomps. Chain chomps though, that's a C. Some good ways to use them, not many. Okay, that's fine. No problem with lurking. Spinies also up here. Their shells are just as useful as buzzy beetles. Vines, I think that's deserving of a C. Sometimes good, but mostly not. Like if you wanna stop a spin jump or change into spin jumping, that's one reason you might want to use a vine. It can also move on tracks if it's growing from a block or question block. Isn't that something you mentioned earlier, Dremise? Good progress either way. Lava lift. the fast lava lifts, they're not too great. Maybe B tier. The way they work is very unique and can have many good reasons to put in a level. Koopas, especially in Super Mario World theme, they're the perfect kind of enemies to put in Kaizo Light. I think S tier is good for Koopas. For the Rocky Wrench though, they're just enemies to jump off of, that's all. And the wrenches can get annoying. Dry Bones, A tier. Just like with the Spiny and Buzzy Beetle, its shell can be useful. Big Dry Bones you can jump off of many times as Small Mario. Lots of unique characteristics, I would say. Yoshi is in A tier. Yeah, Yoshi. Gonna put that in A or B. Is it deserving of A? Yeah. Gonna have to agree with you on that. Not sure if you're talking about the red Yoshi egg, but that sure is fire. I gotta admit, Yoshi's considered useful by some platforming makers because you can ditch him. Not recommended. I would never put a setup like that in my platforming level. Onto the last block, I believe. Cloud block, that's, I guess, B. Cloud blocks can be destroyed by skewers and thwomps. I think that's all. Oh, and also SMM2 Mario. Better than donut blocks, but yeah, those two should be in the same tier. Burners. That's D, unfortunately. Cannons. They're... I think they're deserving a B. Red cannons and black cannons. You can use whichever one works better, and there are big ones too, so simple reasons why it's good, I guess. Fishbone. No. Goomba. Goombas are... I think Goomba should be an A tier. Big Goombas, they can split into two. They're the best kind of walking enemy, I believe. Goombrats also count along with this image here, by the way. Goombrats are equally as good as normal Goombas. Not sure why I said normal. Fire bars. Better than burners, still not very useful. Spike top. They're okay. Pokies, I think are better than spike tops. Yeah, lots of ways you can use Pokies. Piranha plant. Maybe also in B. Or C, not sure. Let me think. I guess B. Their hitbox is considered a lot when thinking about using them or not. Like, that's the main reason why some enemies are not used over Piranha Plants, because of its hitbox. The blue P block is... You mean the P switch? Is in B tier. Are you talking about this P switch? I would put the P switch in B tier. It's got some good uses to it. Not sure what you mean by doesn't remove enemies. Well, moving on. Monty-moles. Monty-moles, I think, should be in B tier. Their running is very unique. They can come out of the ground, so they could be useful for timed setups. And pretty simple enemy you can jump off of. Compared to Goombas, I think they have a smaller hitbox. I think smaller hitboxes are more in demand. Demand isn't really the word, but more in demand, I say. Mecha Koopas. I think that's A tier. Lots of good ways. Lots of good, ways to use them. Especially since they come in 3 different forms. Well, actually, I guess 9 if you include mushrooms and wings. Speaking of which, the wings aren't here. Well, I guess wings aren't that important. Let me check something real quick. Okay. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Snake blocks. A tier. 2 different speeds. Customizable track and goes through one ways. That's not something too important to consider. Is this the last element that's not from? No, there's also a few other things. Conveyor belt. Conveyor belt should be in A tier. Good for adjusting the speed of a lot of things. Adjusting speed is important, and the main reason to do that is using conveyor belts. Lava bubbles, B tier. They melt ice. Cannot be stomped on. Makes for good obstacles. The bonsai builder, that's C. Pretty basic. Bill Blaster, A. Wiggler is decent, B tier. I think that's all the non-3D world enemies on the list. Now for these items here. This one, useful sometimes. Should I put it in D tier? D tier it is. There's only one use to it, and it's not that important, I believe. Dragon fire enemy has gotta be in C tier. He's too big and can defeat someone in 2 minutes. I'll actually put him in D tier. There's no good reason why you should have him in a platforming level. He's got an RNG element to it, and RNG calls for jank. Cat Bell, B tier. Boomerang, C. Propeller Box, also C. And Cannon Box Ghost there too. Should I put this in B tier? What's this called again? Remember, it has a rather strange name. Rocket Hat. Forgot the name of it. Maybe that's also C. Okay, beat blocks. C. Piranha creepers. C. This one's also gonna be in C tier. Lots of things going in C so far. Porcupuffer is bad. And Trooper, it's fine. This one is pretty good. Tree is less important to me, at least. The Cloud Lift. Unfortunately, that's D tier. Never seen it used in any level, practically. Well, I did see it used sometimes, but I don't recall a time that I did recently. It's one of those elements. Dash panel is B tier. Same for clear pipe. Good for moving things around. Bully, I think C is good for that one. Warp box is gonna be in B. Should I put the warp box over the door? I think I should put that there. And the door's gonna be in B tier because it's a useful element if you want to make setups that require you to land on ground for a few seconds and enter a door. There are some instances like that. 3D World Jungle theme is underrated. I can agree. I was thinking about making a parkour level with the jungle theme. Though I gotta admit the water was bothersome, I would say. I didn't want the water to be there in the jungle theme. Otherwise, it's pretty good looking, and I like the music too. Moving on, Skip Squeak. Skip Squeak, C tier. I think that's a good place for it. And Sting Bees, also C. Sting Bees are good for enemies to stomp off of in the air. Aside from that, no good reason to use it. Hop Chops, I think that's their name. Almost forgot. Might as well use a trampoline instead of this. And by the way, I'm not saying I hate these enemies. I'm just judging by their usefulness, so although I do like enemies such as Boos and although I like the Boo and which one? Well, I guess just the Boo is something I would like to put in B tier for specialness or whatever. But in this tier list, it's D tier. Anyway, last two items. This one, C. And this one's gonna be in B tier. It's better than the mushroom trampoline, and yeah, it can be switched on and off. Upgraded springs. I don't like springs to be moving around though. Plus it moves sort of in a random way. Sometimes they jump off on their own jump off ledges. Not sure if you knew that. Okay, I'll put in C tier. Hope that'll satisfy you. Platforming levels that make you go in the water might not be a bad idea. I can see why that may be a decent platforming level theme. Well, this concludes the tier list creation. I don't think there's too many disagreeable parts to it, unless if you see anything, or if you guys see anything that you might want to see changed. Otherwise, I don't know what this button does. Parachute hop chops? Yeah, now that you mention that, that is indeed good. You can have trampolines in the air that move around just a little bit to add to difficulty in jumps, instead of putting trampolines in one spot where they're easy to jump off of. Yeah, pretty much upgraded trampolines, as you mentioned. Gonna conclude the stream too. So, thank you guys for tuning in and watching the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this different topic of streaming. Might get to viewer levels next time, or Mario Kart. Which one, I'm not sure, but it's gonna be one of the two. I might post this on a community post so that you guys could see it. I'm not sure what I'm really gonna do with this one, honestly, but I will make sure to save it somewhere. Shovel, yeah. Shovel's gonna be in S tier, if it was a thing.